Hey guys, how have you been? Excuse my scratchy throat. It's been a minute. It's been almost 2 weeks. How you guys doing? I wanted to check in with a collective video chit chat about, what our planets, what our collective energies doing out there. I wanted to check on you. If you don't know, I always assume you know, but then, I may be out here making new friends, and hopefully I am. But I aside from always studying astrology, reading tarot for my monthly people, for my clients that I've had for years, I do network with lovely business women, and we do sales and things together. I do have a website. I do craft candles and oils for ritual meditation, spiritual growth, these tools that I craft. And it's been a busy season. What was flying out, you guys? The tower. Yes, to old crumbling and shifting spiritual paradigms. Yes, Sagittarius season will bring through truth. But yeah, you guys, you know what? I took a break. I worked really, really hard. I had some co-hosting things. I had some sales, the holiday season. Always, of course, is very busy, and it's a wonderful time. I'm thankful, so much gratitude for being able to, if you do what you love, if you create art, if you get to do what you're passionate about every day, you never work a day in your life, right? Most days it feels like that, right? But yeah, took a much needed time away. Got everything knocked out. Really excited about what I got to share with my groups. The candles. If you're ever curious, I also, whenever I'm not doing a big push of offerings, or I'm not doing something in a group, or whatever it is that I have going on, I always do custom candles. I do herb rolled, traditionally dressed candles, and I do a lot of custom work. I love to do couple tarot with making unique custom individual tools. I do offer those bookings at my website. And so, yeah, I had a really busy push, and then we went on had a lovely break, reflected in the season of gratitude in a different way that I've done in years before. And I might make it a tradition, you guys. It was just great to checked out by the ocean. Was there turkey there? Yes. And it was smoked. Shout out to the one who smoked an amazing turkey. But no, it was a good time. It was rest. It was relaxation. It was much needed. So, yeah, bit was a very, very busy bee. And then, what was it? We went into Sag season. Then we had our new moon in Sag on the 23rd. I was also working on some personal readings. We were doing how the Sagittarius stellium was hitting people's charts, and where you had Sag in your chart. And I did some really great, really interesting readings for some clients with that. That was very fascinating to see how Sag affects people differently in their charts. It was really cool. So much gratitude that I get to do wonderful things like this, and I'm compensated in such a way, thankfulness, to my ancestors, to the universe, and to my own self as well, for my own evolution and pursuing what I love. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Wonderful time away, so much needed. But so it is still a very busy time. Here we go, back into it, right? And we're back into our routines. And we're going on through, last time we touched base, we were probably chatting about the Sagittarius stellium. Let me turn this down a little bit, you guys. And, stellium is basically in astrology a fancy word for saying 4 or more planets come into alignment in a sign, which of course becomes like a amplified, like a magnified container for the energy. So we had Venus. This is from like the 16th, the 17th on up to the new moon on the 23rd. We had Venus come into Sag. We had Mercury come into Sag. We had obviously the sun, which starts Sagittarius. The sun came into Sag. And then we had our new moon in Sag. So that was our lineup. That brought us up to the 23rd. Today is Tuesday, the 29th. So we had this beautiful kind of breath of fresh air bringing us out of our Scorpio season, ushering us, shooting us like on a golden horse. You know, imagine Artemis, imagine Diana just taking us up out of the belly of the ocean and bringing us this wonderful, this enlightening, this freeing, this childlike, playful, but also very truthful, very wise Sagittarian energy. It was very beautiful to receive that in Venus to help us expand socially and maybe call into our space after we've done a lot of cleansing, purging, probably letting go of relationships. Hopefully, if we're doing this karmic cyclical work, if we were doing our shadow work in the season, we were clearing and letting go. We were completing cycles of relationships and things in our circles and our families and our who we surround ourselves with. So Venus helped us learn about our self-worth and our intimacy with ourselves and others, what gives us joy, what brings beauty into our life, right? So hopefully the Sagittarius moving into Venus has brought us places to expand and find more freedom and connect with people that align us with our purpose, right? And then we had Mercury also coming to Sag. Mercury is your mental energy, learning more about your truth, studying new paths. You're thinking philosophical, you're thinking psychological, you're thinking of what helps you understand your mental motivations, the intentions, your perspectives that you put on, how you see reality every day, all these things that influence what then leads you to take action on stuff. So hopefully, Sagittarius being in Mercury has brought us the gift of coming into better alignment with our truth, but in a mental way, in a way of how we get dressed in our vision, our perspective for each day. Hopefully we're finding new teachers, we're studying new paths, we're evolving. And again, this is going to be more in like a spiritual wisdom seeking way, philosophical type of way. This is what you're thinking, right? We're surrounding ourselves with new people. We're learning new things. We're probably finding new teachers, or please never forget, myself as the Aquarius, I'll always remind you that you are your best teacher, your own guru. So maybe you're even finding books, finding new paths of studies, joining groups, communities. It's a really lovely energy that gift of Venus with Mercury coming into Sag gave us. And then we had our sun and our new moon in Sagittarius. So very expansive, very beautiful, very freeing. There's a playful energy in Sagittarius that wants you to play, that wants you to give your inner child joy, to kind of flow with what the day brings. We can have, Leo as a fire sign can be very stubborn, very fixed. Obviously, it's a fixed sign. Aries is the cardinal, so it's kind of wild and crazy. You never know. It's going to get a little fiery. But Sagittarius is beautiful because it is mutable and has the ability to flow. There's a bit of grace to the fire. You know what I'm saying? So here we are now. We're about a week and we're about 6 days into our Sagittarius season. We've closed our eclipse portal. And what do we have? What did we have going on? When we opened Sagittarius season at that new moon, we did have a lovely sun and the moon trine Jupiter in Pisces. We did have Jupiter then going direct. So that is our big benefic planet. We got a big blessing along with that stellium of freeing, truth-seeking, bring me back into alignment. I've been down in the trenches doing the shadow work, doing the work on myself, refresh me, give me a breath of fresh air. So that's this trine with this Jupiter and Pisces, and Jupiter going direct said, I would love to. I would love to bring you optimism. I would love to bring you, you know, Jupiter, this trine, and then Jupiter going direct, and then us this falling right on the heels of the stellium was very much like, let's look for the bright side. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing is that I'll be damned if we do all this shadow work, this working on our karma, this growth. We went through, and we could really do a year in review, but we've really went through a lot of energy on a collective and an individual level. You know, the planets. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. We had rainy and windy weather at the beach, which is very moody and beautiful. And it wasn't every day. So, you know, don't go, oh, but you know, I love it. The ocean is gorgeous regardless. You ever see like the storms as they come rolling in on the ocean? Or the, you know, the dramatic choppy waves. So it's beautiful regardless. But walks on the beach with very, very windy, very like high advisory wind levels with sand in your lungs. I'm struggling a little bit. Excuse me, recovering from that. Do you ever like, you know, I'm in the upstate here, and so I have very different air, and then you switch to like that, you know, coastal air. Anyway, sinuses and throat are struggling. Please excuse me if I'm a little raspy. But I think it's very beautiful. What I was going to say is, I'll be damned if we did all the karmic cyclical completion. I'm not just talking about, we do these things, of course, in the cycles of every year, in the cycles of every moon, in the cycles of every season. But these cycles here in 2021, bringing us into 2022, have been like the cycles that culminate a lot of soul contracts, a lot of cyclical karmic lessons that you've been dealing with, that I've been dealing with. We've been dealing with our life. So looking at things coming to a completion, especially in this year, especially through the summer, that we've been studying for, essentially, right? We've been going through life experiences. We've been in this academy on earth, in this 3D experience. We've been studying for the things that we have built up the bravery, built up the courage, gleaned enough wisdom that we were ready to close chapters. You know, I think I was saying something about when we opened this lunar cycle, it was like, let these endings be the end all be all. And that was huge, because normally at the new moon, you're thinking of what you want to dream anew. But this was like, you better dream up what you're going to say no to for the last time. And so now we're in this bright, beautiful, expansive, freeing energy. And it's like, you know what? Your spirit guides, your ancestral team, your higher self, you know, your light body families, all of these things that are with you at all times, please know. And please know that they are with you at all times. They're cheering for you because they're saying, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? You know how many cycles she studied for this and she aced it. She's ready to move up. You know what I'm saying? This is where we're at with this energy. So we've got, what else do we have quickly? I've got, man, you know how it is when you take a trip, and I did co-host a couple things, and you know, you can never really get to, check completely out when your work always goes with you, but I'm thankful for that. That's not a complaint at all. Nothing but gratitude. But, you know how when you go and get away and then you come back and it's like, and then you jump back in. So, I don't know if this video today will be as long as they usually are, but, anyway, I just had to, my spirit had to take a minute, amidst the packages and amidst the, invoices and the other readings I got to get caught up on. I had to come speak with you guys. I love you guys. I love to check in energetically with you. Anyway, so we've got Sun sextile. What was I going to say? Sun sextile Saturn. Oh, this is. Do we want to talk about that yet? Because we're really kind of moving into that in December. We did have Neptune go direct along with. Sorry, I was just looking at my notes, you guys. We did have Neptune go direct along with Jupiter going direct a little bit before. So it's a wonderful energy as far as our intuition, a lot of messages and blessings and different things coming through. But but in like a higher mind. Do you know what I mean? In a higher self. I think the channels to our higher self are going to be high frequency and very, very, very open right now. I thought I was going to kind of talk about this sextile, but we're really not going to get into that for like another week and a half. But I think we really have a lot of high vibrational energy kind of out there. There's a lot of expansive light for us to access right now, and it's still just floating in waves off of this stellium. It's still floating in waves off the new moon in Sagittarius. Excuse me. How long, you know what, I'm looking at charts. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling, I'm looking at charts. How long is Jupiter? Jupiter's going to be in Pisces almost a majority of like December. So what Jupiter going direct here is very, very, very beautiful. And the fact that it is in Pisces, it's very, and again, see, Neptune is like fantasy, you know, the occult, mystic knowledge, intuition going direct. And then we have Jupiter, which went direct, but it's still in Pisces. We have, you know, our great benefic. And it's like a big spiritual blessing, you know, because Jupiter and Pisces can suit up very nicely along with Neptune going direct. We've got a lot of inspirational dreams, a lot of intuitive support, massive, you know, light codes, downloads, upgrades, you know what I mean? If you can get into nature right now, if you can meditate, if you can do rituals, be they simple or complex, if you can create in whatever facet, whatever outlet is your creative method of choice, now is a beautiful time. Your ancestors, your higher self, your highest light body guides, you know, your ancestral family, all of these things. All of your guides, your spirit teams, your higher self on multiple dimensions that works with you. It's a great, resonant, very powerful, very high vibrational time right now. Study, meditate, create, truth-seeking in the highest, lightest way, being out in nature, sun being on you at this moment in this season of Sagittarius with this benevolent, benefic energy, and with a lot of, it's a very like, go out there and get you on some of those light code transmissions, you know what I mean? Level up in energetic frequency, you know, and if that can't look like meditation for you, that might be sitting outside in the sunlight and just saying, asking your ancestors to speak to you, to upgrade your energy and body fields, to cleanse and clear you and upgrade you while you sit in the sun on break. You know what I mean? Before you have some coffee, walk out into the sunlight in the morning, do a little stretch, ask for a blessing. You know, pick, if you can't study a whole new spiritual path, you know what I'm saying? Pick one book and commit to journaling. How many times a week? Once a day, whatever that looks like for you. This is the time. Do your best to meditate. Maybe if dream work is your path, you know, set intentions before you sleep. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. When does Neptune, I think Neptune isn't really, we're kind of in pre-direct. I think Neptune actually will go direct. I think it's like December 2nd, December 5th. Anyway, in a couple days. We do have Mercury and Venus trine in Chiron. So again, this is very beautiful. Mercury is your mind energy. Venus being your heart energy. There's a lot of, Chiron is always our wounded healer archetype, right? So with this Mercury, Venus trine in Chiron, thoughts, feelings, you know, your mind and your heart. It's kind of like healing, opening of the heart chakra. It's a very like sacred fire. Remember, I'm saying high vibrational energy. A lot of cleansing, clearing, healing. A lot of lift up, level up. You know, upgrade in the chakras, in the meridians, in your light bodies, in your auric bodies. If you can do guided meditations, again, nature, just purest as you can think of. You know what I mean? This is the energy right now. So let's see. What are we at? We're just like almost at 20 minutes. Man, I'm so excited. This is really the first that I've been able to sit down and just dig into some charts and look at the energy And think about what we've been receiving since the stellium, since the new moon in Sagittarius. I will say it's quite interesting as a backdrop. We have what we call black sun, black moon conjunction. This is cycling around this energy. I think this is actually going to be complete tomorrow. But that's a very interesting backdrop to this light, bright, beautiful energy. But as always, we have duality and polarity. And every single day we wake up, you know, we choose our perspective like we choose our clothes. We choose our mantras. We still have to face our emotions and do our shadow work. And that happens in an evolutionary way every single day. So, you know, nothing's going to be like, you know, light, bright, you know, rose-colored glasses all the time. But we have beautiful, high vibrational energy going on right now. Very innovative, very progressive energy. Sensations, new ideas, very hypersensitive, just very inspirational, you know, and stuff that we receive in windows of energy like this sometimes can ripple out for months. And we're in the vision work time, you know, and we're going toward the winter. We've done a lot of shadow work, and if you're vibing with the wheel of the year, the way that the seasons move, ideally in the winter, going towards early spring, you're really visioning what you want new to be ready to plant seeds for, and you know, vision board work and ideas. Is a lot of inspirational time. So this is just great. It's a great inspirational energy for all of that. Excuse me. Expand, you know, venturing, expansion, go out. Be out, do your rituals, be excited, you know, look for synchronicity, connect with new people. Also, I think it's super important, Sagittarius season, Venus and Sag, a lot of these things going on. Let's connect with new people who align us to our highest vibration, our highest evolution of our purpose and our path. The more people that we can support ourselves, of course, Sagittarius is social, you know, it's a fire sign anyway, but the more people that can support our alignment, who understand us, we're in equal reciprocity, in energy. We need to evolve and level up in the relationships. I always talk about relationships being energetic contracts. Let's constantly reevaluate those, and constantly, what we're not going to do, I'm claiming it for all of us, okay, so we're not going backwards into the same toxic situations that we worked so hard over these years, last year, this year, and a compilation of years, to get out of. Let's evolve. Let's look for new people to support us in our path, okay? I love this energy. I love this energy so much for us. And, you know, it's kind of makes sense to me, because now that I sit down and really look at it, when I was prepping for some sales and I was prepping for some things, it was just this massive, like, explosion in my inspiration. This was like right before Thanksgiving, right before and right around the new moon. It was just so much sacred geometry, so much like busted open sacred geometry, heart chakra. A lot of things that I channeled were around sacred geometry too. So that's crazy. But it's not though, right? You know, our higher selves are always in tune. A lot of times we're just not tuned to the frequency of listening. That's okay. We're all learning. But it makes sense now, just thinking about that for a second. I don't like sit down and check all of that before I channel what I want to create. You know, I just see it in my mind and I know what I'm hearing. Do I have one close by? Hold on, guys. Here's one of the large pillars. These are not for sale. They've already been claimed. But see, I was working with this sacred geometry. So funny. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the cards. What messages do we have in the cards? Thank you to our spirit guides, our ancestors, our higher self, our team of the highest light and purpose, guiding us always. Thanks, you guys. for hanging out. I really hope that if you chose to observe the holiday season, if you sat in gratitude with family and friends and loved ones, or if you did whatever you needed to, whatever was best for you, if you didn't observe it at all, and that's totally fine. But I hope whatever it looked like for you, that holiday time frame was a blessing. Maybe if nothing else, you just got some rest, and that's good too. What do we have? The Death card is wanting to come out. You know what this feels like to me? It doesn't feel like, it feels like a reiteration, like a reminder of why in the season of death, more in that ancestral window, more in that October window, more in that eclipse portal, you're being reminded of we left things behind. And we would not return to them because other things are meant to replace them. You know what I mean? I always like to say that the universe is a vacuum, and that we leave things, and the universe immediately wants to fill the space. But the problem is that if you go back and you continue to fill the space with what you're trying to leave, you know what I mean? You're not gonna you can't move up to the next frequency of what you could be manifesting. So I think Spirit, our ancestors, our higher self want to remind us by showing us the Death card that we let things die for a reason. The Death card, and I'm seeing of things that would want to tug on your shirt sleeve, that would want to tug on your energy, that you've already done the work, be that your spiritual, emotional, mental work, cord cutting, healing. You have done the work to release this person, place, thing, trauma, story about yourself, whatever the case may be. But it feels almost the energy of like someone tugging at your sleeve and wanting you, or like a whisper, like a thought projection, of just wishing that they could still be alive in your life is what I'm hearing. Be mindful of that. Be really mindful of that. And make sure every single day that we evolve, every single day that we adjust our perspective is an attunement to our frequency, is to our vibration. And when we can vibrate and be on a different frequency, it's like the older energy, the older people, the older feelings, thoughts, and stories try to reach out and touch us, but they can't. Because we're not even on that frequency anymore. So that's why it's so important to do your mental, your emotional, your spiritual hygiene, right? As consistently as you possibly can. What is this that's wanting to pop out? Queen of Pentacles, I think, is very beautiful, as an encouragement to... Queen of Pentacles is it makes me think of the home, and we may kind of be tucked and nestled back into our homes in this seasonal time where we, we have less daylight outside. We want to, the Queen of Pentacles speaks of nurturing your sacred spaces at home, making sure that you feel you can connect there. Now, the Queen of Pentacles definitely can be like that hum of the earth, Mother Nature, Pentacles, that's your earth sign. It's kind of the heartbeat of the earth. So if you're in a place or you feel, you want to be outside, that's totally fine too. What feels sacred to you? What reconnects you to the earth, to the rhythmic flow of the wheel of the year, to the reminder of that Gaia heartbeat, that energy, that grounding, whether that's inside or outside. The Death card, and then seeing the Queen of Pentacles come out beside the Death card kind of makes me think of, we need to make sure that we have our energetic hygiene cleanup routines going on in our home, inside in sacred spaces. Energy can tend to be dank and lingering, and hear me out, especially as if you've hosted family in your own space, and you know how some of those things can go. And let's just have our energetic, our vibrational, our hygiene, our smudge routines, our essential oils, all our good stuff, throwing open our windows, refreshing if you keep altars, whatever sacred space looks like to you, maybe refreshing offerings to ancestors. Queen of Pentacles for some reason is making me think of divine feminine, the feminine archetype of ancestral energy, and I'm just hearing leaving out a refreshed offering, so maybe that's applicable to someone, especially with the death card and people who've passed on. Maybe if you have hosted family, your ancestors, maybe reaching out, just saying, hey, kind of nice to hang out with everyone's energy over the holidays. Can you refresh us a little bit? Thank you. So that's kind of coming through. But yeah, definitely making sure that energetic boundaries are strong, making sure that you're honoring your sacred space in your home. If it's applicable for you, of course, being outside in nature and honoring that as well. But let's make sure that we're doing good. I just keep hearing energetic, like vibrational, spiritual hygiene, to keep the places that we've let things die out clean and open and receptive. Remember how in the astrology we were just talking about how all of these benefic, enlightening visions and inspirational, all this energy wants to pour into us. We have to make sure that we keep clean vessels, is what this is making me think of. The Queen of Pentacles, she keeps her home tight. She has a great routine, safe, secure, stable, good food, clean, feels sacred, feels grounded in her home, and I'm just feeling that energy. But also, again, seeing a lot of like matriarch, like type of feminine figures. And maybe that's the energy that's in your home wanting to aid you in that process too. So that's beautiful. That's very inspirational. And then the Eight of Cups wants to fly out of the deck as well. The Eight of Cups is so funny because, I have channelers and I have intuitive readers and I have all these different people that are like mentors to me that I follow. And the Eight of Cups has kind of been out. But I can understand how sometimes, spending time in the holidays and we're in this season of the year where families have a tendency to gather regardless of what you celebrate when. You know what I mean? It's the ending of the wheel of the year. It's colder, it's darker, we gather with our loved ones, we share food, etc. You guys know, however you label that. Even if you follow the wheel of the year, this is the time where we're in this kind of mode. So sometimes that brings back, again, feelings of nostalgia. It can bring back that feeling of that codependent type need of wanting to make people happy, agreeing to go to functions, when you know that you've left some connections, some people, some spaces behind for your own mental, spiritual, emotional health and well-being. Again, with the death card here, it's just, again, be careful. It feels like that tugging on your sleeve type energy, and it'll be there. And sometimes it's rightfully so, because the universe, our higher self, our ancestor team, they're going to see if you're ready to be poured into on a new vibrational level. Are you going to turn around and kind of go back to the tug of the old? Because that may signal that you're just not quite ready to evolve to the next step yet. And there's more to learn. There's more to understand about the wounds, about the needs, stuff like that. So just be careful with like feelings of nostalgia, feelings of people pleasing is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing codependency, especially with toxic family members, friends, being inviting to, I don't know why, and this may be a message for someone, but I'm seeing like being invited to have drinking, but for example, that you don't drink, or like, let's say you're trying to go vegan or vegetarian and there's like friends who are like, come over to a friend gathering and they don't accommodate that or have things to say about it. That's just an example, I'm just saying. But I really did specifically see like people drinking and those who are trying to avoid that. But the broader message of that is, if again, we talked about we've done the work, we should be working on surrounding ourselves with community, family members, friends, energetic exchanges, relationships that nurture us, that are reciprocate our energy back to us, and they're in alignment with us, right? So let's keep that in mind. Continue to practice strong energetic boundaries. Don't necessarily, if you can help it, let those feelings of the holidays and gatherings tug on your little emotional heartstrings of stories, people, versions of you that you've already left behind. Energetic boundaries, I think, are going to be really important. And the Queen of Pentacles, remember, she's also sitting in the middle, and she's a reminder that you have a beautiful place of your own, you know. If you want to establish your own celebrations, your own new traditions, your own routine, kind of like being at the ocean and at a time of year where I normally would have never thought to be there. Do you know what I mean? You can actually do that if you want to. And then you can invite people into your space. You don't have to, but if you want to, you know what I mean? Think about that. You're not obligated to go to the same things that you've always went to, is what I'm hearing. And maybe you might start a new tradition. You may bless people with beautiful energy, food, and a lovely time, and make new connections that you may have never made. And or maybe you are venturing out to a new storyline and connecting with other people in a different way. But anyway, I'm just hearing, you know, be careful. In this season is very tricky. There's a beautiful, wonderful abundance of beautiful energy that is open to us. It's very high, it's very high vibrational, and we can really benefit from doing our work, doing our meditations, reading the new book, taking the new course online, joining the new group, the community, whatever the case may be. And holidays can be tricky. They can get a little emotional. They can get a little nostalgic, and we kind of get pulled back into things that we had put up boundaries against. You know what I'm saying? You're with me. Let's not do that. A lot of ancestors, guides, again, higher messages, and a lot of there's just this frequency that really wants to come through, and I see it kind of like wanting to pour down through our crown chakra, but we need to be open to receive it, and we don't want to clog it up with things that we know are going to hurt us emotionally. We know are going to challenge us. We're not obligated. I keep hearing you're not obligated to go anywhere or be anything to anyone. Okay. Oop, sorry, you guys. So the Page of Cups, this is funny, I pulled that for my own self today. So the Page of Cups is a beautiful card. It's kind of like creative inspiration. It is kind of choosing a perspective, and we were talking about that in the astrology as well. Choosing a perspective of seeing what's synchronistic, of seeing the magic in things, of embracing. And we have Jupiter in Pisces. This is Page of Cups, very Piscean energy. Spirit wants to inspire us, but you're not going to get inspired. You're not going to kind of learn to romanticize your own life, your own work, your own creative inspiration, your own work on yourself. Maybe that's emotional, maybe that's spiritual, whatever the case may be. We're not going to do that by going back to things we have already worked really hard to free ourselves from. Come on, we're better than that. I feel like Spirit is saying, I've got such a good cup for you. You know, you didn't want any of these cups. That's why you worked so hard with your cord cutting, with your shadow work, with your progress to reestablish yourself in new foundations. You're very self-built, you're very self-made, and that's not just with money. That's on a spiritual level. That's on a personal level. That's on a psychological level. So let me refresh you with a new cup. But we have free will. We have the choice to go or stay. We have the choice to, I'm hearing, own your no. It is okay to tell people no, you don't want to go. No, you don't want to be there. It's okay to start a new tradition. I'm telling you this too, and you know, I'm just channeling as well, so the messages are going to come through as it will, but because no one told me this. You know what I mean? And I'm in the South in like a Bible Belt place, and it's not, people don't tell you that. You know? And it's tough because there's a lot of cultural things that go on when you're raised in religion, and it's a very, you know, a mindset is born within you that you have to be very self-sacrificial, very people. It's almost like innately sets you up to be very codependent upon other people, excuse me, validating your worth, saying if you're good enough or you're not, and there are all these things you got to do. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. I know you guys understand, but I'm saying I had no one to tell me that, no, I don't have to do any of that. And I'm still just as worthy. And so are you. Your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit team and guide. Do you know what I mean? They want to lead you to a new cup. And your cup, I'm hearing, is different. It doesn't look like everybody's cup either, and it's a have to. Your traditions, the way that you celebrate this wonderful ride around the wheel of the year of your life doesn't have to be the same as every year, and it doesn't have to be the way that other people do it either, you know. And so that's what I'm hearing coming through. I hope that you are all doing well. I hope that you spend some time. I'm hearing self-care too, with the Death card, the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, you know, Eight of Cups, self-care. Nurture yourself, be good to yourself. A lot of times we become very, very sacrificing during this time, and that's fine. You know, I have things, you know what, in the season I love to, you know, do the thing with here we have like an angel tree. You know, you adopt a kid and you support them and sponsor them. I love to do different soup kitchens. I have the things that I love to do. You know what I mean? But just be mindful that as much as you pour out of yourself for everyone else, you deserve a cup too. You deserve time too. You deserve to be able to plan that afternoon to go out in nature, to meditate, to let the sun shine on your face. You deserve the bath. You owe it to yourself to buy the book, to get a cool ass fucking pen and a new journal and get excited about learning something for yourself, for your own evolution. You deserve that. And don't tell me, you know, your Sagittarius friend will be the first one to snatch you up by your hand and be like, girl, and yes, we are going to go and we will get coffee. And you are going to put some extra pumps in it. And we are going to go get that book. Because you deserve, you know, your Sagittarius friend will be gassing you up, right? And they would be like, and then let me tell you what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So there's so much available for you to evolve and expand and have some freedom and grow into this. It is possible, so possible for you to grow and to evolve into this next level of being that's there for you. You need to make the action steps to do that. And it's not selfish for you to do that either. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you find your inspirational cup. I hope you take good care of yourself this week. Love and appreciate you guys so much. And I look forward to speaking to you guys soon.